You're here with Miss April. Today, we're going to be reading Beatrix Potter. And we've got the tale of a very silly frog. His name is Jeremy Fisher. Let's go find out what happens with Jeremy Fisher.
Yeah.
The Tale of Mr. Jeremy Fisher by Beatrix Potter. There's Jeremy. Do you see him trying to catch minnows? The Tale of Mr. Jeremy Fisher. Now, once upon a time, there was a frog named Mr. Jeremy Fisher. He lived in a little damp house amongst the buttercups at the edge of a pond.
Not like that, like I do. And Daddy.
The water was all slippy sloppy in the larder and the back passage. But Mr. Jeremy liked getting his feet wet. Nobody ever scolded him. He never caught a cold. He was quite pleased when he looked out. There he is. And saw large drops of rain splashing in the pond. I think frogs like the rain. I will get some worms and go fishing and catch a dish of minnows for my dinner, said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. If I catch more than 5 fish, I will invite my friends Ptolemy, Alderman, Ptolemy Tortoise, and Sir Isaac Newton. The alderman, however, eats salad. Now, Mr. Jeremy put on his mackintosh, a pair of shiny galoshes, and he took his rod and basket and set off with enormous hops to the place where he kept his boat. Now, why do you think he needs his mackintosh and his galoshes? Do you remember the weather? It's raining, it's pouring. That's right. So we wear our galoshes, those are our rain boots, and our mackintosh, our jacket, to keep us dry in the rain. The boat was round and green, like the book. It was very like the other lily leaves. It was tied to a water plant in the middle of the pond. Mr. Jeremy took a reed pole and he pushed the boat out into the open water. I know a good place for minnows, said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. He's going to catch some yummies. Mr. Jeremy stuck his pole into the mud and fastened it to the boat. Now, he settled himself cross-legged and arranged his fishing tackle. His rod was a tough stalk of grass. His line was a fine, long, white horsehair, and he tied a little wriggling worm to the end. The rain trickled down his back for nearly an hour, and he stared at the float. This is getting tiresome. I think I should like some lunch, said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. I think he's hungry.
I think he's gonna eat lunch.
What's he going to eat for lunch?
I don't know.
Well, let's find out. He punted back again amongst the water plants and took some lunch out of his basket. I will eat a butterfly sandwich. Can you make a butterfly? A butterfly sandwich. Yum, yum. Sounds good if you're a frog, but I don't think I want to eat a butterfly sandwich. And wait till the shower's over, said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. But who came along?
I don't know.
A great big water beetle came up underneath the lily pad and tweaked the toe of one of his galoshes. Ouch! Mr. Jeremy crossed his legs up shorter, out of reach, and went on eating his sandwich. That bug got him right on the toe. Once or twice, something moved about with a rustle and a splash amongst the rushes at the side of the pond. I trust it's not a rat, said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. I think I had better get away from here. Go, Jeremy, go. Mr. Jeremy shoved the boat out again a little way and dropped in the bit. There was a bite almost directly, and the frog gave a tremendous bobbit. A minnow! I have him by the nose, cried Mr. Jeremy Fisher, jerking up his rod. Oh, but what a horrible surprise! Instead of a smooth, fat minnow, Mr. Jeremy landed little Jack Sharp with the stickleback covered in spines. Ouch, 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 ouch! He looks very pokey to me. The stickleback floundered about the boat, pricking and snapping until he was quite out of breath. Then he jumped back into the water. Goodbye and good riddance, Stickleback. Too pokey for us. And a shoal of other little fishies put their heads out and laughed at Mr. Jeremy Fisher. While Mr. Jeremy sat disconsolately on the edge of his boat, sucking his sole fingers and peering down into the water, a much worse thing happened. A really frightful. Can you show me your scared face? Oh, a really frightful thing it would have been if Mr. Jeremy had not been wearing a Macintosh. Remember his raincoat? Let's see what's gonna come get him.
Yeah.
Ah! A great, big, enormous, really big, right? Enormous trout came up, kerflop, with a splash, and it seized Mr. Jeremy with a snap. Snap! Ow! Ow! Ah! And then dive down to the bottom of the pond. Awful news. Oh, Mr. Jeremy, what's he gonna do to escape? Escape, Jeremy! Was so displeased with the taste of the Macintosh that in less than half a minute, it spat him out. Spat him out again. And the only thing it swallowed was Mr. Jeremy's galoshes, his shoes. Remember the galoshes are the rain boots? Now, what does Mr. Jeremy have to do to get back to the surface? If he's underwater, he's gonna have to swim. Let's swim to the top of the pond. Mr. Jeremy bounced up to the surface of the water like a cork and the bubbles out of a soda water bottle, and he swam with all his might to the edge of the pond. He scrambled out on the first bank he came to, and he hopped home across the meadow with his Macintosh all in tatters.
And where's his one?
He lost it. Everything's gone. What a mercy that it was not a pike, said Mr. Jeremy Fisher. I've lost my rod and basket, but it does not much matter, for I am sure I should never have dared to go fishing again. Now, he put some sticking plaster on his fingers, and his friends both came to dinner. He could not offer them fish, but he had something else in his larder. But Sir Isaac Newton wore his black and gold waistcoat. He's very fancy. And Mr. Alderman Ptolemy Tortoise brought a salad with him in a string bag. And instead of a nice dish of minnows, they had a roasted grasshopper and ladybird sauce, which frogs consider a beautiful treat, but I think it must have been quite nasty. The very end. Thanks for coming to story time with us.
Yeah.
We hope to see you again soon.